What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. Shout out to the Dragon Riders and the House of the Dragon. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 15th day of August, and here we are with about 2 days, 7.5 hours left in the week, sitting at $584. Pressing that barrier yet again, hitting $634 this week, breaking above $600 a few times over the past like 4 weeks now, or at least pressing that area. And coming back down, Bitcoin Cash doing exactly what it's been doing. Really, it's been in a very tradable range since April. Just buy the lows, sell the highs, and it's quite that it's that simple. Genuinely, just in this range here. Now, I don't know if we continue to go down to the bottom of this range. I think things have tightened up a little bit, but at the lowest, I would expect we go somewhere around $546. We could go lower, absolutely. Bitcoin Cash is squirrely. It can move. It can range between certain areas, but I would think we're more likely to break out to the upside here than we are to continue moving down. We could move a little bit lower, and we'll look at the short-term stuff to help define that, but any day now, guys. Any day now. We've been saying this for a long time, but genuinely, any freaking day now, man. This thing's about to rip through the roof, and you're going to be glad that you were holding on to it whenever it does. If we're looking at this here on the 1 hour time frame, come on now. MACD crossing red, stochastics are bearish, the RSI in an area that you'd expect it to bounce, but it could go lower. Just because the MACD is crossing red, though, doesn't mean we have to go lower. I would weigh more on the RSI. I think that we do bounce here. I mean, you look like you had an area to bounce. Maybe the MACD crossing red is something that foreshadows lower prices to come after we bounce a little bit here. The RSI signaling a bounce, and then we get a slightly lower low, right? Kind of like here, how you found a low here, and then you came back down, you even went a little bit lower. Something like that could happen. And with that, we're at 584 now. Maybe we go down to 575 or something like that. But I don't think that we'll see too much of a dramatic lower price here, right? I suppose this does look like a bear flag if we're looking at it from a high to a low here. You've got your bearish hockey stick of death and despair. Come on now. Right here, right? Here's your hockey stick. There's your slapping thing. I don't know. I don't actually play hockey, you guys. I don't know. What's the part that like the part that you hit the puck with? What is that called? Let's learn some hockey etiquette right now, or terminology. What is the part of the hockey stick that hits the puck called? Let's see. There's got to be a name for it, right? The blade. Well, that's obvious, right? Yeah, the blade. Okay. Well, we've all learned something today, except for the Canadians. They knew that at birth. Looking at this here, $585 now. If this is a bearish hockey stick of death and demise, it should promote... Did I delete the wrong thing? Let me see. I deleted the indicators. Yeah, I didn't mean to delete the indicators. It should promote a lower price of... Let's see. About... Come on now. 556 at the lowest. So again, we could go lower. It is possible. We are in a bullish trend. Bearish patterns don't perform as well in bullish trends, okay? We had one of these before, right over here. And that's all we got. It wasn't the full measure move of this. So don't get too excited. Anything though between about 555 and I would think 575 is fair game. Low to high here. 573. But again, there's no promise that we go down there. If we do see prices above $600 again, I would assume that is the low, or that was the low, this is a higher low, and that we are ready to move up higher. Any day now, guys, we should be seeing a fantastic rally. Someone was asking, when are we going to see Bitcoin Cash at 1,600 to or higher? When's it going to be breaking out? And I just responded, any day, man. Any freaking day. It could happen any day now, genuinely. I could wake up tomorrow. We could all wake up tomorrow and Bitcoin Cash is worth $1,000. Like, it's that fast. It's going to happen. And maybe not tomorrow. Maybe, though. Genuinely. We're at that point in time, guys, where it's just any freaking day now. I made a post on X saying that this is the one of the easier coins to trade, and I might only trade Bitcoin Cash for that reason, because it really is one of the easier coins to trade. But at this point in time, you should just be long. Be long on your long, and just wait, man. Be patient. But with that being said, you probably do come down a little bit more. Looking at the 4-hour RSI, overall super bullish. We're actually at an area to bounce. Stochastics look like they want to bounce too, and the MACD is at an area to bounce as well. Again, these prices, 555 at the lowest. I don't know if we'll get there, man. I'm thinking we'll be lucky to even get to 575 or lower, but we'll see. Daily time frame here. Let's even look at the weekly time frame because who cares? Daily time frame, right? We're on the precipice of greatness and glory, my friends. We're right there. I'm on the Binance chart. I don't know why it keeps doing this. I need to change it. I need to get to the Coinbase chart. I have that saved on my watch list on the Binance chart for some reason. Once it loads, it's taking its sweet time. It's so sweet. This page is slowing down Firefox. To speed up your browser, stop this page. Stop. Nope, we're not going to stop it. We're going to let it play out. There we go. Okay. I just need better internet, man. From a high here to a high there. Breaking out of this range here, guys. We've done it. We're just waiting for the aftermath now. And no, just because it's lagging, just because it's being slow, doesn't mean that we're forsaken and that we're going to go down now. No, that's not what that means. We're just taking our time, okay? Taking our sweet, sweet time, and whenever we're ready, we're going to rip right through the roof, okay? And when we do rip, the first target area is this prior cycle's high at about $1,700. The ultimate target would be the all-time highs, if not new all-time highs. I think we'll stop somewhere in between, probably right there at around 2K, 2,200, something like that, okay? And that should happen over the next 6 weeks. I think it's going to be glorious. And this time, my friends, Dragon Riders out there, the thing that's going to be different about this move than any other move we've had, really, in Bitcoin Cash's existence, is that I think this move will bring validation to Bitcoin Cash. You're going to hear people all over the place talking about it differently than they have before. Maybe not everybody. Maybe not everybody. There's going to be some of those OG crypto heads who they still haven't looked into Bitcoin Cash. They're not aware of the development that's going on. They're not aware of the community and how robust this ecosystem is and what it's got, the future that it's got, that it's aimed for. But it doesn't take much time to figure things out. It doesn't take much time to research, right? And all these people, they're going to say the same thing. They're going to say that they're wrong about Bitcoin Cash, that they didn't know about it, right? I say the same thing about Bitcoin Cash that I say about crypto. The only people who think Bitcoin Cash is a scam, the only people that don't like Bitcoin Cash are the people that don't know anything about it, right? What am I saying there? I'm saying that literally as soon as you do just a fraction of research, you do a little research. And when I say research, I don't mean going to ask your favorite YouTuber, what about Bitcoin Cash? Like, oh, it's a scam. That's not research. Do your own research. Read it. Read about it. Look it up. Look what's going on with the ecosystem. Follow some of the developers or the Bitcoin Cash podcast, who has various amounts of people who are involved on their podcasts all the time, talking about these glorious things that are going on. Shout out to the Bitcoin Cash podcast, by the way. You guys are going to blow up here pretty soon, man, because this thing's going to blow up. I'm just saying the Bitcoin Cash network is going to get more validation than it's ever had in any other move of its life. And that's because for the first time ever, we'll be breaking free of this range. For the first time ever, we'll probably have a higher high versus Bitcoin as well on the BTC BCH chart. I've got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Big things are coming. We're almost there, man. We're almost there. Buy it while you can. Load up the truck while you can. You know, I don't expect Bitcoin Cash to be the largest moving product in the crypto markets right now. I don't think it's going to have the most percentage growth between now and the end of September or October, but it should outperform the average altcoin, and it's the coin that I have the most conviction in. That's why it's my second biggest bag. The reason why Onyx coin is my biggest bag is because it grew the most, right? It used to be like my 8th largest bag, and then it pumped so much that it went up to that number 1 spot, and I bought a little bit more. But I'm thinking about buying some more Bitcoin Cash. It's the only one that I really stack more of other than Onyx coin and Cookie DAO. I like Cookie DAO as well. But if I'm talking to people with like serious cash, if they've got a lot of money, if I have friends who have a lot of money in crypto, I always try to get them to phase into Bitcoin Cash. Oftentimes they're very heavy in Bitcoin or Ethereum, and right now Ethereum's been doing well, right? Bitcoin's been doing well over this cycle too, but I'm pretty sure Bitcoin Cash is just barely behind whenever it comes to Bitcoin's growth. It's just barely behind. It's going to make up for that on this next move. But I really think that the ratio of Bitcoin Cash to Bitcoin, it's going to grow. It's going to grow as far as price valuation goes here over the coming weeks and coming months, and really throughout the rest of the cycle. So have patience, take your time. We're going to get there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Bye.